Did you know that Chick Hicks, the main antagonist in the movie Cars, actually has a meaning behind his number? His racing number is 86, which is actually a reference to the old term 8-6ing or 286 someone. This old saying means to eject or throw out of something. This saying is a hint towards his racing style, as he often spins cars out in the movie, leading to their removal from the race due to the damage he caused. Did you know in Cars, Mater used to look very different? Before he was rusty, he used to have a fresh blue paint job and a hood. He can be seen like this in the flashback Sally has on her drive with McQueen. However, since then, he has lost his hood and his paint has rusted. In the end credits of the movie, Mater finally fishes up his missing hood from a valley before losing it again. Did you know that in Cars, the couple that drives through Radiator Springs secretly appears in the end credits? When McQueen is using Bessie to fix the road, Minnie and Van drive through town trying to find the interstate. Even when Sally offers to help, Van refuses and says he knows where to go. As an Easter egg, they are shown in the end credits being lost and acting strange. They reappear in Cars 2 when Mater is telling a story and during the Radiator Springs race. Did you know that in Cars, the tractors have the word jewel on their side? This is a reference to a real type of tractor, Farmel. Tractors are some of the only vehicles to not talk in the Cars universe, as they act and are portrayed as cattle and not cars. Frank, who patrols the pastures, is designed after a bull. This is why he targets McQueen, as bulls can get agitated by the color red. Frank and the tractors also appear in the end credits of the movie. While the Radiator Springs crew is at the drive-in, more and more tractors appear with each shot. They also appear in planes, but they are designed slightly differently. Did you know that in Cars, this Piston Cup racer actually has a backstory? Hall Ingas, racer for Retread, has actually won a Piston Cup according to the Meet the Cars book. He was a European racer who moved to the USA in the 90s and was highly coveted by many sponsors. In a Cars comic, when McQueen didn't have a sponsor, he tried asking other racers to join their team. He was turned down by Ingas when he tried to get a spot on the Retread team. Did you know that in Cars and Cars 3, some Piston Cup racers were actually voiced by real NASCAR drivers? In Cars, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is voiced by the real NASCAR driver. He appears in the opening race and he talks in the movie. He is interviewed about McQueen and wishes the king good luck. Did you know that the quote McQueen says before he races Doc float like a Cadillac, sting like a Beamer is based on a quote from the famous real-life boxer Muhammad Ali? Ali, known for his quick head movement, invented the quote float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Lightning McQueen made a Cars version of this quote, as Cadillac and Beamer are both kinds of cars. Doc makes fun of him with an altered version of this quote after McQueen crashes into cacti. Doc also uses it to motivate McQueen in the final tiebreaker race. Could Lightning's name be a reference to Ali's quick movement? Did you know that in Cars, 7-time Piston Cup champion The King is based on a real former NASCAR champion? The King is voiced by Richard Petty, who used to be a NASCAR driver. The King's design is based on the car Petty drove. The King's crash at the end of the final race is also based on a real accident Petty experienced. Did you know that the main tire brand in the Cars franchise is based off a real company and another movie? Lightyear is the tire which can be seen on the racers throughout the Cars and Cars 3 movies. It's named after Goodyear, a real tire company, and Buzz Lightyear, one of the main characters in Toy Story. Lightning wears it in every movie, and Chick Hicks wears it in the first but not third movie. It is advertised by a blimp named Olaf, who— Did you know that in the movie Cars, the King's wife Linda had a secret past? Before Linda Weathers met the King, she was actually a demolition derby competitor. She gave up that job once she met the King, and they began to live together in the country. Comment below how many of these you already knew.